Hello, it's me. So the Diddy trial jury have reached a verdict. Let's have a look and see what the BBC has to say about this. Although it pains me to say so, shout out to the BBC for their coverage. And yeah.
In the last few minutes, the jury in the sex trafficking trial of the music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has reached a partial verdict. Our correspondent John Sudworth is in New York. Bring us right up to date, John.
Well, Jane, this is a massive moment in a trial that has lasted 7 weeks, involved more than 30 witnesses, and in the dock, of course, one of the music industry's most iconic and wealthy stars.
So he's just said it himself there, isn't he? Over 30 witnesses, loads of testimony, loads of photographs showing, let's face it, very suspicious things. And they've managed somehow to not be in agreement on one of the charges.
At the heart of this case is the question about the true nature of a man who was once feted by American society, showered with music industry awards, and given the honorary key to this city just a little more than a year ago.
They properly took that back.
A very different side to him. Abusive, controlling and violent, aspects that the defence have not denied. The big question for the jury, though, is whether that behaviour amounted to a criminal enterprise. At the heart of this case was a video released showing...
So, all the guns, the baby oil, the indications of people being flown places for the purposes of sex, testimony of violence, threatening behaviour, setting fire to things. And this is still a question.
Him violently assaulting his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hotel room a few years ago after a so-called freak-off. The sex parties that have been so discussed in this case, such a central part, which lasted for days, involved large amounts of drugs and baby oil provided by his assistants, and which the prosecution say involved the coercion of people like Cassie Ventura to take part in them. Now, the defence have said that although they do not dispute that Mr. Combs has occasionally behaved very badly, all of those sex acts were consensual. Essentially, they say that domestic violence is not the same as the charges that have been levelled in this case, sex trafficking and racketeering. Now, what we've just heard, Jane, is that the jury has reached a verdict on the sex trafficking charges, but they are yet unable to reach a verdict.
And again, we don't know if that's guilty or not guilty.
It looks as if we're not going to hear that partial verdict tonight. They're going to be sent back out. But certainly this is huge news for Mr. Combs and his team. They gathered in court looking very worried about this. He refused a plea deal, don't forget, at the beginning of this trial, betting that the jury would side with him. We are very close to the moment of knowing whether that bet has paid off.
John.
So, there we go. Thanks to the BBC again. Go over and show them some love. What are we looking at? They when they realised it hadn't reached a verdict on the last charge, and they all turned up to the courtroom looking a bit worried, and Sean Combs rejected a plea deal at the beginning. I'd actually forgotten about that. I mean, that's a confident man. Or, as I've said on a few different occasions, is he protected? Interesting thought. So, here we are, with all the testimony. And don't forget, the defence never called any witnesses. So that was either bravado, or they realised that calling witnesses for the defence and then allowing them to be cross-examined by the prosecution would make things worse, which is my contention. So basically, it was a prosecution-only trial, really, really one-sided, effectively, and they still can't reach a verdict one way or the other on the last charge. Yeah. So, I hope you found that informative. This is me signing off. Until next time, look after yourselves.